So it's very much in over my head, and like everybody's pointing at me and they're like, toxic culture, toxic workplace. All it takes is like one headline to be like, she's not the girl boss. My name's Sophia Amoruso. I'm a recovered entrepreneur and now venture capitalist of a venture fund called Trust Fund. So when I was 22, I was working in the lobby of an art school and wasn't trying to be an entrepreneur. I just didn't want to work for other people. So I went and found some vintage clothing. I put it on eBay. I called my eBay store Nasty Gal Vintage. I didn't start the business with any money. I didn't have loans. The first year on eBay was $75,000 in revenue. And then the second year, I left eBay about halfway through and it was $250,000. And the next year was 1.1 million. And then the next year was like 6.5, then it was 12, then it was 28. And this was like just flipping clothes. They valued the company at $350 million when we were doing 28 million in revenue, which is just like over 10 times revenue, right? It was explosive. And it was just like me and a bunch of kids in a warehouse. During that time, I wrote a book called Girlboss. That book spent 18 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list, sold 500,000 copies, eventually became a Netflix series. And it was kind of this freak show. It's like rags to riches, American dream story of like, the girl boss. Growing up, I didn't fit in. I wasn't a happy kid. I went to 7 different schools, hated living in the suburbs, and I hated authority. There were 2 words that I heard more than anything was you're weird and you're annoying. And I never was really great at one thing. I mean, it was really weird when it went from like, I feel like a freak to business people took me seriously. And there were people who like would never have talked to me had I not achieved some like level of conventional success. It was this step change from like, dive bars and burritos in San Francisco to like, okay, I tried an oyster to like, ordering bottles of wine that I can't pronounce that are like amazing and buying oysters for everybody. I was 28 years old. I was really naive. I didn't consider myself an entrepreneur. I didn't mean to be one and didn't even necessarily want to be one. I didn't necessarily know what I was signing up for. You hire really talented people who are used to having big teams. They hire more people. It became a really different company and it became really expensive. And not long after the book was published, went through our first round of layoffs, which was not fun. Because when you're the girl boss, you're supposed to build this like utopia for people and be an example. And I wasn't teed up to be an example. Like, I was the least qualified person to be doing this job. As a CEO, everybody assumes that you know everything that's happening and you've endorsed it. That you're like, yep, that behavior, I'm totally okay with. I never said that. Like, I didn't know this so much was happening. And as a CEO, it's like you're really only privy to like 10% of what's happening in your company. It's still ended with me and like it ended with me eventually. So 2016 was a crazy year. In June of 2016, I was on the cover of Forbes and they named me one of America's richest self-made women. And then November of that year, Nasty Gal filed for Chapter 11, fell apart, went bankrupt. I stepped away. There were headlines like, does the failure of Nasty Gal mean millennials aren't ready to lead? So somehow I had become representative of an entire generation, which like I didn't sign up for, I didn't ask for, and also that's like can't be true, right? And then in April of 2017, this Netflix series comes out about my life, about who I was when I was 22 years old. So for the first time in pretty much my adult life, I was no longer associated with that company. And 4 months later, there's a massive global PR campaign happening, showing the world this person I no longer was, as I'm trying to figure out what my own identity is outside of this thing that I was associated with for so long. that was like really the peak. Like it wasn't the end of Nasty Gal that was the hardest part. It was this like insane amount of noise when the Netflix series came out 4 months later. There were headlines like, the worst thing about Netflix's Girlboss is its source material. And that's me. I mean, I felt like damaged goods. I was like, nobody's ever gonna want to touch me with like a 10-foot pole. I watched these other entrepreneurs come up behind me and raise venture capital and build big businesses and go on the victory lap. And I remember like muting their Instagram stories, just being like, I cannot watch this success story. What is it that they possess that I don't? Even though all that shit had happened, there was this generation of women that, for the most part, still showed up for me, and they were still inspired. And my failure gave them permission to fail in this weird way, because they had probably gone in Girlboss too close to the sun. I spent most of my life thinking that I didn't belong, and that was a sad thing, and isolating myself and not getting along. And eventually, I don't belong became this fun game. Like, that's okay. Like, I don't want to be like everybody in the room. And I do bring something different to the room. And it's because of that, that for some reason, I've been embraced. It's like the things that you may not think are superpowers and the things that feel different about you that you haven't embraced. If you bring them to the table and you expose yourself and you're authentic, often other people will follow suit, right? And when you share your story, people aren't going to be like, oh my God, what a freak. They're going to identify with it. Like, the right people will keep showing up for you. Did Nasty Gal for 10 years. It was a blast, and it was the hardest. And now I'm 40, and I don't want to be in fashion, and I don't want to run a business, and I certainly don't want to be in retail, but I'm having fun.